host, Tucker Carlson, whose mission in life seems to be stoking white fear and injecting racist conspiracy theories into households across America.
Hi, everybody. Auntie speaks. So this is part 2 of Reid tells us how scary all the Republicans are because of our scary associations to scary people. So let's get right into this.
Are not some separate, isolated story from everything else we've been talking about on this show every night. It's not separate from Donald Trump dining with Nick Fuentes, an outspoken anti-Semite and white supremacist, and above all, someone who hates women. Or active members of Congress, not retirees like Trump, members of Congress with actual current power, speaking at conferences organized by Fuentes. Or members of a major political party embracing white replacement theory, thanks to Fox's most watched host, Tucker Carlson, whose mission in life seems to be stoking white fear and injecting racist conspiracy theories into households across America. In fact, when you put all these guys in a room, which, I mean, it's kind of hard to pinpoint where one ends and the others begin.
Okay, so we need to face this head on. Right now, in any party, you have a crazy fringe. And I like to use the Elvis example. If you do a poll of the United States right now, 10% of the people will say that Elvis is alive. So it's the 10% rule. 10% of the Republican Party is crazies. 10% of the Democratic Party is crazies, although I think it's more than that on the Democratic Party, but that's because I'm biased. But 10% is going to be crazy, okay? And you cannot use those people as an example to tar the entire party, okay? When I'm talking about climate crazies, I'm talking about climate crazies. The only time I talk about it and associate it with the Democratic Party is when they listen to those climate crazies, okay? So Nick Fuentes. Who is Nick Fuentes? Here we go. Here she takes a lovely montage to show how crazy this person is.
You know, they say about America, they say, diversity is our strength.
How precisely is diversity our strength?
Black people are violent, you know.
They have chaos and violence in their communities.
Send the military into these black neighborhoods, make the streets safe, they'll complain about it. It doesn't matter.
We should send in the troops if necessary to restore order.
Well, not with the Jim Crow stuff. Who cares? Oh, to drink out of a different water fountain. Big deal.
Oh, the legacy of Jim Crow. That was 67 years ago. It is ancient history now.
With thanks to The Daily Show for that mashup. And that kind of rhetoric has consequences.
Isn't that lovely? So you take a crazy person, Nick Fuentes, when he is saying those things, Jim Crow, that black people are violent and send in the troops. He means it in a racist way. He is a racist. He is. Just like my black TikTokers. He is a racist. But isn't that funny? You intersperse it with actual mainstream Republicans talking about completely different things. Like Tom Cotton there, the senator, talking about sending in the troops. That was to stop the riots. And you intersperse that with a racist who says send in the troops to kill black people or kill all the gangs or something like that. Those two things are not equivalent. And putting them side by side is dishonest. It is dishonest. Okay? You get it? So Reid, you know what you're doing here. Nick Fuentes is a racist. And you are interspersing it with people talking about completely different things and saying that these two people are equivalent. That is dishonest.
Today, the Department of Homeland Security raised concerns about potential threats to the LGBTQ, Jewish, and migrant communities from violent extremists inside the United States, saying Americans motivated by violent ideologies pose a persistent and lethal threat. But the story doesn't end there. Because the story is the creeping white nationalism that has infected the party that all of these people support. The party that has invited hate and fear of fellow Americans as guests to Thanksgiving dinner. And until they kick this ideology out, and not just slap Trump around a little bit because he lost them elections. I mean, kick them out.
The white nationalism that is infecting the Republican Party. I hate to let you know, Joy. There's only one party that's obsessed with race. Only one. And it's your own. Should we look in the past to see what Joy Reid had to say about Hispanics? Let's see.
The person who wrote them looks in retrospect like a prophet calling for America First policies at least a decade before Donald Trump entered politics. In the days after Hurricane Katrina, for example, the blogger in question suggested that native-born Americans, not, quote, low-paid Mexican workers, ought to rebuild the city of New Orleans. In 2006, the blogger said this about her television viewing habits, quote, I love Lou Dobbs. His show has become required viewing around my house. The blogger largely agreed with Lou Dobbs on immigration. Quote, flying the Mexican flag on U.S. soil strikes me as incredibly presumptuous and insulting to the U.S. The blogger went on to argue that illegal immigrants to this country are not coming here because they embrace our ideals. They're coming for money, which they then send back to Mexico. And she made a pretty clear-headed, evidence-based case for that. But you'd never guess. Believe it or not, it seems like the author of what I just read was Joy Reid.
See how that's done, Joy? Do you see how that's done? Take a couple of comments that you made, 10 years ago, and you can be shown as a racist. You are a racist, Joy. Now, I actually do believe that you're a racist, but not racist against Hispanics. I don't believe that. But do you see how easy it is to take those little comments that you made and make you look like a racist, right? And what does she say here? So what does it say? The DHS warns of domestic terror threat to LGBT, Jewish, and migrant communities. And then she attaches that to a creeping white nationalism. How many white nationalist terrorist attacks have we had in the United States? Well, let's look in the world. Number of fatalities due to terrorist attacks worldwide. I don't see any white nationalist groups on here. That's amazing. Well, maybe it's just in the United States because we only have white nationalist group in the United States. Well, let's move to the ADL. That's ADL, the American Defamation League. If you want to talk about people who are not honest, go to the ADL. But here we go. 6 most deadliest years for domestic extremist killings, i.e. white supremacist killings, I guess, according to the ADL, because they don't include a bunch in here who were done by African Americans. Yeah. Remember those guys who were shooting people randomly from overpasses and stuff like that, and it scared everybody for months and months until they were caught? That's not on this list. It's really amazing. So Oklahoma City. That was a crazy guy who didn't like the government. It was not a white nationalist, but okay. Orlando nightclub. Yeah, that was a Muslim. Also not a white nationalist, okay? San Bernardino, I believe that guy was actually motivated by like white supremacy or something like that. I think that was in 2015. Parkland High School shooting. That was just a crazy person. That didn't have anything to do with white people at all. He just wanted to kill a bunch of people, if I remember correctly. He was a crazy guy who his parents, said, he's a crazy guy. He's a crazy guy. We need to do something. And the police didn't do anything. Fort Hood. That person was also Muslim. It was not white nationalism. El Paso Walmart. That's the one that fits like in nowhere. It was a person who was complaining about the destruction of the planet. So he was like an environmental nut job. And he also didn't like immigration. So if you take those two things, one's on the left and one's on the right, but all of a sudden he's someone on the right. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this stuff is, super scary. But what did we not include? Oh, you know what? We stopped it in 2019, ADL. Why? Why did you stop it in 2019? Oh, because of all the deaths from the Summer of Love. Well, we don't count those. 35 people died all across the country. Billions and billions of damage, burning, looting. That was on the left. But we don't have to be scared of that, do we? So help me out, Joy. Help me out on the white nationalism in the Republican Party. And here we come to the crux of it. Nick Fuentes. Okay, Republicans, we have to be honest with ourselves in that Donald Trump really screwed us on this one. Donald Trump has some wonderful qualities, and he has some really bad qualities. One of his bad qualities is anybody who's stood up for him in the past, he gives them the benefit of the doubt, and he defends them, i.e. Kayne West. Kayne West, I don't know him, but from what I can see, he's going a little crazy. Okay? And he brought Nick Fuentes to a dinner. Trump didn't know that he was coming. Trump didn't know who Nick Fuentes is. But Kayne West screwed Donald Trump. But Donald Trump should be smart enough that they are looking for anything to attach me to white supremacy. Anything. And he should have vetted everybody who comes into his house. That is what you're going to have to do if you're a Republican now. We need to vet every single person that has anything to do with our top officials. And we need to scrub their past. Now, the Democrats don't have to do that. No. Should we compare the bedfellows of the Democrats? So Trump had a dinner with Kayne West. Kayne West brought a terrible, disgusting person, Nick Fuentes, who's a Holocaust denier and a racist. Okay? So we're looking at Trump. Let's look at Obama.
And lock them into positions of hopelessness and helplessness. The government gives them the drugs, builds bigger prisons, passes a 3-strike law, and then wants us to sing God Bless America? No, no, no. Not God Bless America. God damn America that's in the Bible for killing innocent people. Day by day, we have supported state terrorism against the Palestinians and black South Africans, and now we are indignant because the stuff we have done overseas is now brought right back into our own front yards. America's chickens are coming home to roost.
Yeah, Reverend Wright. That was Obama's pastor. And it was perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine after 9/11 to say the chickens are coming home to roost. And God de-America, not God bless America. That's totally fine. Totally fine. I mean, it's not like Obama has been associated with, like, I don't know, anybody like a neo-Nazi. Oh, he has. Now, it's a black neo-Nazi in the name of Louis Farrakhan. That's what this picture is. Who is Louis Farrakhan? Look him up. You're going to see speech after speech after speech on probably the most anti-Semitic person in the United States. He makes skinheads and neo-Nazis look like a Girl Scout troop. Here's a quote. I am not anti-Semitic. I am anti-termite. Sorry, I'm not. He rhymes everything. I'm not anti-Semite. I'm anti-termite. Yes, Jews are vermin. He talks about satanic Jews and how the Jews control everything. All the old tropes. All the old tropes. And it's just not just Obama. No. Here's Keith Ellison. Keith Ellison is, he ran to run the Democratic Party. He's the Attorney General in Minnesota. He defends Farrakhan, says that he has something to offer. Do other people who say anti-Semitic remarks get that pass? Did Kayne West And I'm not saying that you should. Like I said, I think there's something seriously wrong with Kanye West. And I don't like his music. So I'm not a fan. I'm just not. Let's go on with Keith Ellison. Here we go. As recently as 2000, Ellison publicly defended violent fringe elements of the far left. He appeared at a fundraiser that year for domestic terrorist Sarah Jane Olson, a member of the self-styled revolutionary group, the Symbionese Liberation Army, which is best known for kidnapping Patricia Hearst. Oh, okay. But what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene shows up at a conference where they're talking about America First, which has been a slogan in the United States for a long time. Remember in the 80s, buy American, because everybody was afraid of their jobs going overseas. It had nothing to do with immigration. It had to do with all the jobs going overseas. So there was a huge America First movement in the 80s to try to buy American. So Trump has a dinner with Kanye West. Kanye West brings a very, very bad person. And here you have Obama, Keith Ellison, defending a famous anti-Semite. Double standard, you think? Well, here's Ilhan Omar. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Going after the Jews. This is an anti-Semitic remark, but, she's a Democrat, so it's just fine. It's just totally fine. So tell me, Joy, you tell me how one person who shows up uninvited to one dinner shows that all Republicans are white nationalists. You tell us. And how us complaining about immigration, which is at the highest level ever recorded, why us being afraid of illegal immigration makes all of us white nationalists. Please explain, Joy. Please explain. I'm sick of the hypocrisy. I'm sick of Democrats being able to say whatever they want, associate with whatever they want, and the media gives them a pass. And Republicans make one mistake, step one toe out of line, even not knowing what they are doing, not knowing who they're associated with, and they're immediately tarred with a racist white nationalist brush. It is not honest. Okay? Stop it. Fear the right, fear the right, fear the right. Well, I don't know about you, but the right did not burn down cities. The right does not have an armed militia in the name of Antifa who wears black hoods and black outfits and terrorizes people. That's an arm of the Democratic Party, not the Republican Party. You got it? And I'm going to leave you with this. This wonderful little meme that was posted on Twitter. Take a look at this list and tell me again, who are the racists? So you can just ignore your entire racist past, Democratic Party, and now you can just suppose racism of the opposite party, and it's true. It's just true because you say it. No evidence, nothing, except an uninvited guest to a dinner party. Okay, guys, comment below. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you on the next one.